Welcome to a new video, guys. It's Theorizer here again. This video I'm going to be talking about Thor. So, it's going to be a bit of a shorter one. So, Thor is a Asgardian, god of thunder. He has when he first appeared in the MCU, he held the hammer Mjolnir, which gave him powers. Which now he knew that that hammer's just there to direct his powers, not the source of his powers. Got sent to Earth to be worthy because he pretty much only thought about himself and war and not good intentions and stuff like that. So he got sent to Earth and met a girl named Jane Foster, which taught him that. Got worthy again, destroyed the destroyer. I think that's what it's called. The big robot. And then he got back to Asgard because Loki was trying to destroy the Frost Giants' world. Jotunheim, I think it was. So Thor stopped him. He destroyed the Bifrost, well, the summoner of the Bifrost. And then they missed Jane for a while. Then later he was able to figure out a way to get to Earth to help fight the Jotari that Loki was controlling and trying to just kill half the planet for Thanos. And then after defeating him, they went through a big fight. Thor won against Loki. After that, they rebuilt the Bifrost, and then they had to make peace across the 9 realms. Wars fighting out and stuff, so they brought peace to that. Where at the beginning of Thor 2, it shows them destroying a giant rock guy. With one hit from Mjolnir, so that's pretty good. And later, he manages to he talks to Heimdall, and he says that he can't see Jane, so he goes to Earth to try and find her to see what happens. And turns out she got the ether stuck inside her, which is which the Reality Stone is sort of an aspect of that. So then they try to figure out a way to get it out of her, and the Dark Elves wake up when she gets when the ether goes inside her, and then they try to get the ether from her. They escape real quick, but then they go to their place because the Dark Elf's the only one that knows how to get it out of her, so they get that, and then they try to destroy it. It doesn't quite work, so he manages to get the ether, and then is trying to destroy or turn all the 9 realms into darkness. And then Thor has to stop him with some portals and things to direct it and control it or whatever. The Asgardians trap ether in a smaller container and give it to the Collector. Not the best idea, but then in Avengers 2, he goes and has to fight robots. First of all, they have to get Loki's scepter because Hydra got a hold of it again. Got a hold of it originally, but I don't know. But they destroy the base where they find Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch helping them for a bit. But they get the scepter back. Tony finds that it looks like a mind, so they want to build an AI out of it, Ultron, which eventually wants to destroy the world, so they gotta try and stop all the robots he created. They destroy the giant floating island of Sokovia. Um, and yeah, he does that with one hit from Mjolnir and a giant blast from Iron Man. They destroy it together. Then 2 years later, well, he's been fighting a lot of people, a lot of villains and stuff. Finds Surtur, destroys his rest of his body, and then it's just his crown left, which he hides in the vault. And then he noticed that, and then as soon as he saw his dad, well, his supposed dad, he finds out that that's not his dad, it's in fact Loki. So, that's, Thor being that smart, when the whole nation doesn't suspect that. It's a little weird, but okay, that's pretty good. They both go to Earth to find his real dad, Odin, where they meet Doctor Strange, gets teleported around the house, breaks some stuff with Thor's umbrella, and then they both go out over to where Odin is, talks to them a bit, and then he turns it away into space dust, magic dust. No, he tells them that their sister is only being kept back because of his life, and now he's dead and he's gonna die, that she's gonna be back, so they have to fight her. He tells them not to bring her to Asgard, otherwise she's gonna be a lot stronger there. But then he dies, and then Hela shows up. They turn into their special suits or whatever, and special outfits, and Thor throws his hammer at her to try and knock her down or something. She breaks it into pieces. Loki says, bring us back, because he's now scared because the hammer's supposed to be really, really powerful, and she just broke it with one hand, so, bring us back. So, and Thor says, no! But does it anyways. So, yeah, it does it anyway. She gets to Asgard, and they both get knocked out of the Bifrost into not that great a world called Sakaar, where people are forced to fight and stuff. Or Thor is, at least. Loki is not. But when Hela gets to Asgard, she destroys the entire Asgardian army. While Thor is fighting in an arena against the Hulk, wins a bit, amplifies his punches with lightning, punches way faster than the Hulk, sends the Hulk flying through hundreds of feet of alien metal. Yeah, so that's with him, no power really. He has a little bit of power, in his vision form where he's seeing his dad a bit. I don't quite know, how that works, but and then eventually he was able to talk to the Hulk to get him to calm down. Eventually he turns back to Bruce. Then they try to figure out a way to get off the planet onto Asgard again. He talks to Heimdall, makes him see what he's seeing, really, standing there, and tells him which way to go in, which hole to go in, and then portal or whatever, they go through that. And when they get to Asgard, everybody's trying to escape except Loki, because he got left behind because he was trying to do more tricks and stuff. So he gets left behind. Then Korg frees him from being electrified a whole lot. And then they go on the big ship and then go to Asgard and pick everybody up while they're fighting Hela. And then Thor and Hela are fighting for a bit. Gets his eye poked out, and then after that, then he actually gets a full vision and talking to between his dad. He said he's not quite as strong as his dad, but then Odin said he's stronger, which I think that's a big thing considering how powerful Odin is, as how powerful Thor is. And then he gets fully awakened, but gets a giant lightning blast the size of a mountain, or really big. So yeah, doesn't really phase her. She gets knocked back into the water for a little bit, or knocked somewhere. I don't remember where, but and then he flies down, making a lightning shield around him. So whenever the monsters touch him, they just go back. And then they get so he's fighting them all, punching them all, killing them all again, technically. And then Hulk has to jump off, or Banner has to jump off and turn into Hulk to stop Fenris. And then he defeats him and stuff. And then he's slowly getting back up. In the meantime, he starts fighting Hela, but Thor told Loki to put Surtur into the Eternal Flame to make him really big as a mountain and destroy Asgard. He takes the Tesseract in the meantime while he's doing that. And then Surtur destroys Asgard, killing Hela, putting his giant fiery sword right through her. So, destroyed her, and Thor left on the ship. Loki managed to get away too. Yeah, then they keep going, then they want to go to Earth to start new Asgard. So they do that. Well, they try to do that. They're heading that way. And then Thanos attacks the ship, trying to, well, first of all, kill half of the population of the Asgardians, and then find the stone, because he knows that they have the stone. Thor thinks it was destroyed in Asgard, but then Loki shows it to him and gives it to him. Well, waits a bit until Thanos is putting a lot of power putting the power stone, pushing the power, firing the power right at Thor's head for a bit, and then eventually he says stop and gives him the Tesseract and tries to stab him, and then Thanos snaps his neck, kills Loki, and then destroys the ship and teleports away. I'm not sure how all the Asgardians were managed to escape, but yeah, and then off the ship, but Thor was the only one left really that was alive. The Asgardians found a distress call, or not the Asgardians, Guardians of the Galaxy found a distress call, saying that they need help, so they go over there. They find Thor, see that he's still alive. They bring him inside, they wake him up. He says he needs a new weapon to destroy Thanos. Saying that, then they said, don't you think we all should have a weapon like that? And then Thor says that a weapon like that would kill weaker beings, which means that's, he's definitely not a weaker being. Then he takes the escape pod with Rocket and Groot. They go to Midavalir, where it's frozen. It's frozen, so they have to break all the ice about the size of a small planet or moon, with his bare hands and a little help from the spaceship. But yeah, and then after it starts, the coupling that holds it open to push all the fire through broke. So Thor has to hold it with his bare hands, the full force of a dying star, which is probably one of the most durable things that we've ever seen in any Marvel movie or DC. So yeah, that's an incredible durability amount. After about a minute of taking it, then he just let go, fell down a bit, and then the dwarf opened the mold, tried to look for a handle. The group made the handle for him, and then Thor held the axe, healed him. Then they used it to summon the Bifrost and teleport to Earth, destroy the army that they were fighting. Then Thanos came, and then, well, he was a bit busy destroying other ships. And then Thor threw his axe at him, at his chest a bit, to stop him. Thanos tried to do a full gauntlet, energy beam blast to try and stop it. It didn't stop it. It went straight. It didn't slow down at all, really. If you ask Theorizer too, he says it did slow it down, so it wouldn't have killed him. I think Thor wasn't trying to kill him. I think he wanted to say, because as soon as it impaled him, he flew down and says, "I told you were gonna die for that," and slowly did it. He didn't want to kill him instantly. He wanted to be there personally and just do it right in front of him, because he was really angry at him for killing Loki. So, because given that how easily Thor chopped off his head in the fourth Avenger movie, I think he could have easily had his axe go straight through Thanos and kill him. So, yeah, I don't think he was trying to kill him. So, yeah. And then we got, that's pretty much the end of that, because Thanos does get away, snaps tons of people away. Then 5 years later, he chops off Thanos' head and his arm. Arm first, head later. And then, actually, well, that was before the 5 years. Then 5 years later, he hasn't exercised, and he's probably been drunk for the entire time, stuff like that. So, yeah, and then he really big, fat a bit. So, they figured out a way to time travel and get the past stones to snap everybody back. So they start making a time machine. Thor goes there to help to get the ether, to turn into the reality stone or whatever. And then travel back to get the ether. They snap everybody back, but then Thanos from the past gets all his armor and stuff and sword, and then starts fighting people. A lot of all the Avengers. Well, it starts with just Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. After that, then they separately, Thanos started pushing the Stormbreaker right at Thor's chest. I mean, it was slowly going towards Thor, but remember that he was in a weakened position and a weakened state, being drunk for 5 years or so, and not exercising for that long either. So, yeah, definitely for that. And then later, Captain America turns worthy, helps him a bit, but yeah, Thor does that. Then they keep fighting a little bit, but you don't see a whole lot, about a big amount that Thor does. You see a bit, but yeah. And then, yeah, and he is still worthy that way, because when he, gets Mjolnir back, and from when he time traveled, so he's still worthy. Then, he goes with the Guardians of the Galaxy, leaves Valkyrie in control of Asgard. So when he first appears, the Guardians of the Galaxy were only in a little bit of it. There's just the first battle because Gore the God Butcher killed a god over that area, so there was war. So Thor ended it real quick. He got his goats and they went to Asgard because he found out that the Gore the God Butcher was attacking Asgard. So he went there, started fighting the shadow monsters that were there from him, and then he saw Mjolnir starting to fly around too, even though he knew it was broken in pieces, and he wanted it to come to him, but it didn't quite come to him. I'll explain more of why, unless you know exactly, but you should have already watched the movie, so you should already know why. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Jane shows up. They fight them. They take the kids. So they try to go to the area of gods, the group of gods where tons of gods are gathered or whatever. To try and get an army of gods to fight Gore, and they saying no because they're scared. So then people start trying to escort him out, and then they start fighting, and then he tries to kill Korg. His face is still there, but yeah, they keep fighting. Then he tries to kill Thor next, even though he's a bit tied up still. He throws his lightning wand, whatever, throws it at Thor. Thor catches it and throws it right back at Zeus, and impales him, and it goes straight through him. I don't think he was trying to kill him. I was just like, stop doing that, let's get away. So they grabbed the lightning staff because they thought that might help a lot. Eventually they fought Gore. After a bit, he gave he allowed the kids of Asgard to temporarily have the power of Thor to help fight the Shadow Demons while he fought Gore with Jane. Well, he didn't want Jane at first, but yeah. Later, Jane helped, and then they destroyed his sword. And then they did get to the Eternity, I think it's called, which grants you one wish to whoever gets there. So he was going to do that, but then Thor says, well, just remember, you don't have to, do that. You could just, whatever. But he decides to just bring his daughter back, and instead of, killing all the gods. And Thor watches over her for, he's worthy to wield Mjolnir still. Well, he was, but he can have it come to him now instead of going to Jane. They have his weapons have a bit of feelings now too, which is a bit weird, but so he's pretty good at actually enchanting things even when he's not trying. So yeah, that's Thor's story pretty much. So who would he beat? Pretty much everybody that I explained in the earlier videos, except there's more. So Superman, like I said, Tony Stark could beat him, just work like kryptonite into his repulsors. He can beat Superman relatively easy that way. But yeah, I think Thor, physicality wise, Thor is stronger. This movie wise, DC versus, the Thor, he's stronger. He's definitely stronger. Then he's definitely more durable. I mean, a nuclear bomb versus a neutron star. A nuclear bomb that just blew up and had the surface of the sun heat for a few seconds, less than a second, a microsecond, and Superman's almost, really, really hurt. He's like pretty much dead until the sun hits him. Thor, he took something hotter than the surface of the sun for a minute. So that's definitely more durable. Then speed, Superman is faster. But Thor is really fast. He's the only one that can move in Quicksilver time and look like he's actually moving rather fast through super speed time. I don't think that's gonna do very much. He's Superman when he fires laser blasts, it's like Jatari weapons firing. He blocks those really easily. Thor throwing his hammer in Quicksilver time, yeah, Superman might be able to miss it and then have it come back to him. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could miss it, but Superman doesn't always fight in super speed. I mean, he does a lot of it, but Thor does fights rather fast too. In Man of Steel, they ran right into a train locomotive, knocked it over. They're fighting really fast. They're going boom, boom, boom into a store, into a train, and different areas and stuff. They were going really fast like that. But then Thor, he does really fast type fights too, where he just runs into it. Not a whole lot, but yeah, he sometimes does do it. I think he's definitely a lot more durable. I think he can definitely do it. And another thing, two things mainly: Superman's weakness and Thor's strength. So we got Thor has magical weapons and knowledge of space, people, aliens, stuff like that. So Superman has a weakness to magical weapons, and he has a weakness to kryptonite. And with Thor's knowledge of space, he probably knows that about Kryptonians. Another thing he probably knows about the red sun does not weakens their power. So with the Bifrost, just teleport him to a place with a red sun and teleport some kryptonite there, or just teleport to a place with red sun and kryptonite. So rather easy to defeat in multiple ways. So yeah, and he's definitely better at skill too, at fighting. So I think all those, I mean, he's beaten Quicksilver, which is definitely faster than him. So I think, yeah, he's definitely beating Superman rather easily. But I mainly want to talk about that. Captain Marvel, Thor is stronger, about the same durability. They both fly through ships and stuff like that. Except Thor is a bit more durable because both of them got hit by a Power Stone blast. Only one of them got knocked out, which would be Captain Marvel. So, yeah, I think he's stronger. And then, yeah. So, and definitely better at fighting. Faster. I mean, they're relatively close. Captain Marvel might be a little faster on just flying wise, but Thor has Bifrost and stuff like that. I don't think that's going to be too much of a difference either. And she's a bit weaker with her speed. Like, she doesn't use like her really, really fast speed in a fight. She just uses it to travel between places. So that's another weakness for her that she doesn't try to do, but Thor does. So yeah, Thor would win with that. The sorcerers, Wong, Doctor Strange, and Wanda too, even though she's not quite a sorcerer, she's Scarlet Witch. I think Thor, magical powers and stuff. I mean, yeah, I think he could probably defeat her and him and them. So yeah, I mean, durability and strength, they have nothing even close to compared to Thor. I mean, Thor has magical things too, but yeah. Doctor Strange, I think, definitely do better than Wanda would do, or Wong, since Doctor Strange actually had a big encounter with Thor, in this thing. But I don't think I mean, if Thor is in battle mode and Doctor Strange is in battle mode, I think Thor would be fine, with it. So, yeah. Then, Wonder Woman. I think, yeah, he can definitely beat her relatively easy. So yeah, a lot of different things. It'd be nice. So at the end of the Thor 4, one of the end credits, um, Zeus tells Ares to kill Thor. Um, so it'd be nice to see it, since technically Wonder Woman already fought Ares. So yeah, it'd be nice to see how he does. But yeah, I definitely think Thor would win a lot. Pretty much most superhero fights he'd beat. I mean, there's still a few people that he wouldn't. I'm trying to keep this video a bit shorter, and it's already a bit longer, but yeah. So I'm not saying a whole lot, but yeah, he has a long story and stuff. So okay, so that's it for this video. I'm trying to keep this short because I'm also gonna say a lot about more Thor's powers and stuff like that in later ones. I'm also gonna say Thor beats the Hulk. He's already beaten the Hulk, so a few times. Um, so yeah, okay. Like and subscribe. Look, stay tuned for the next video. Watch our other videos. Yeah, and see you in another video.